I installed the Springwell UV system and put it through real-world lab testing to find out if it can actually disinfect a contaminated well water supply. In this video, I'll break down what I love about this system, what didn't really impress me, its key features you should know about, installation insights, and most importantly, the lab results. If you're thinking about UV purification to disinfect your well water, you won't want to miss this one. At right around $1,000 at the time of recording, the Springwell UV disinfection system isn't exactly budget friendly, but for a high quality UV purifier, it's right in line with similar systems on the market. The good news is that the unit's maintenance costs are pretty low and you'll only need to replace the lamp and quart sleeve once a year. This works out to just 0.2 cents per gallon, which is pretty affordable for continuous protection against bacteria and viruses. Just keep in mind that this system does require electricity to run, so it's another small cost to keep in mind, but of course it's not unique to this system. Like all UV water disinfection systems, this unit uses ultraviolet light to neutralize bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms as water flows through its stainless steel chamber. Inside, a high-intensity UV lamp protected by a quart sleeve provides disinfecting irradiation. It's important to note that the efficacy of UV depends entirely on the water being free of suspended solids like dirt, sand, and debris. Sediment in your water will block the UV rays, reducing effectiveness and allowing harmful pathogens to slip through. Think of it kind of like the dark side of the moon. Bacteria can hide behind these particles, completely avoiding exposure. That's why proper filtration before UV treatment is absolutely critical, and it all depends on your specific water quality. In our case, we decided to install 2 sediment filters, a 100 micron spin down sand separator and a 5 micron spun filter to eliminate sediment of various sizes to guarantee proper performance from the Springwell system. In addition to sediment, UV systems have specific water quality requirements. Common well water issues like hardness, iron, manganese, turbidity, and tannins can all impact effectiveness, meaning pre-treatment may be necessary. A UV purifier should always be the final stage in a well water treatment system, what we call the treatment train. So there are a number of things that I really like about this Springwell UV system. Its stainless steel exterior is sturdy and durable, with no small or flimsy components. It's effective for flow rates up to 15 gallons per minute, which means it's a suitable choice even for larger households. Water doesn't need to be held in a tank while the UV takes effect and there are no chemicals involved, so it's a good option if you want a long-term chemical-free method of disinfection. So in my research, I actually discovered that Springwell has actually private labeled Luminer's Black Comb product. So although Springwell doesn't hold the certification for this system, the manufacturer actually does. It's NSF certified to NSF ANSI standard 55 Class A for its ability to inactivate or kill bacteria, viruses, and cysts in microbiologically unsafe water. Maintenance is easy, and with the long 12-month-long lamp lifespan, upkeep is minimal and cost-effective. And replacing the lamp is straightforward with the help of the user manual. The system tracks the lamp life, counts down the remaining days, and even notifies you when it's time for maintenance. Finally, Springwell backs their product with solid company policies, including a minimum of 1-year warranty, but upwards of 10 years depending on the component, and free shipping on orders over $29 within the continental US. These perks add to the overall value, making the Springwell UV system a well-rounded choice for homeowners looking for low-maintenance, effective water disinfection. While the Springwell UV system does have a lot going for it, there are a few drawbacks to keep in mind. First, as I already mentioned, pre-treatment may be required to ensure the system operates effectively. Like all UV purifiers, it requires clear, sediment-free water, so you may need to install additional treatment systems. And of course, this isn't unique to Springwell, but it's an extra consideration when budgeting for this system. On that note, Springwell recommends installing a sediment filter upstream, which is standard practice for UV purification. And in fact, if you don't, then the warranty for the UV system will be voided. However, the system doesn't come with one included, so you'll need to purchase it separately. Now, installation is another factor to consider. Because this unit is installed at the water's main point of entry to the home, the setup requires cutting into your main water line, not just for this UV system itself, but also for any required pre-treatment systems. If you're not comfortable with DIY plumbing, then you'd need to hire a professional, which of course would add to the overall cost. And Springwell's warranty also comes with some fine print. It's only valid if your water meets specific conditions, including the absence of hydrogen sulfide and oils, and iron, manganese, and copper levels below a certain threshold. That means that if your water does not meet these requirements, you won't be covered. Lastly, while Springwell advertises a 6-month return policy, it's not as generous as it sounds. Customers must pay for return shipping, tax isn't refundable, and there's a 25% restocking fee, meaning you won't get back the full amount you originally paid for the product if you decide to return it, which is something to be aware of before making a purchase. Now let's get into our performance testing. We installed the UV system in a home with well water that had previously tested positive for coliform bacteria multiple times using both a local lab as well as a well water test kit from TapScore. But before installing the unit and putting it into service to test, there were a few critical steps to take. First, we shocked the well, which is standard best practice when dealing with microbiological contamination. This kills bacteria directly in the well itself before installing a UV system and is the fastest way to ensure water is safe. Next, we needed to disinfect the home's plumbing system to eliminate any lingering bacteria that might be in the pipes. To do this, we installed an empty 10-inch filter housing after the water treatment system, added chlorine bleach directly into it, and then reinstalled the housing. The homeowner then ran water from every tap in the house until they could smell the disinfectant, ensuring the plumbing had been properly sanitized. While shocking the well itself does introduce residual disinfectant into the system, this extra step ensures that the right dosage reaches all the pipes in the home. So at this point, you might be wondering, if shocking the well kills the bacteria, then why would we need to install a UV system? The key here is that it provides ongoing protection. If a well has already been contaminated by bacteria once, it's more likely to be susceptible to future recontamination. A UV system provides continuous disinfection, ensuring that any future bacteria introduced into the water supply are neutralized before they reach your tap. Since the Springwell UV system is specifically designed to target microorganisms, we focused our testing on its ability to eliminate bacteria. However, to ensure our results were not skewed by the recent well and plumbing system disinfection, we conducted our post-install test 3.5 months after installation, long enough to confirm that any remaining chemical disinfectants had dissipated. Our lab test detected 0 coliform bacteria in the treated water, proving that the Springwell UV unit was providing protection against any resurgence of microbiological contamination in the well. Top marks for performance because it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. So who would I recommend the Springwell UV system to? If you're concerned about bacteria or other microorganisms in your well water for whatever reason, and you want a safe, effective, low-maintenance disinfection alternative to a chemical feed system, this is a great option to consider. Since private well water is not regulated or treated at a facility, it's your job as the homeowner to ensure your water is safe to drink. And given that most wells are susceptible to contamination by pathogens, installing this Springwell system will give you the reassurance of knowing that your water is safe from disease-causing microorganisms. I'd also recommend it to folks on city water who just want the peace of mind knowing that their water will always be disinfected, even in the event that the treatment plant goes offline and a boil water notice is issued. I also want to reiterate that UV purifiers like this Springwell model only disinfect water to address microorganisms. They don't remove other common well water contaminants like sediment, iron, hardness minerals, or other metals like uranium or inorganics like fluoride. So if you need additional treatment, you'll want to pair this system with a comprehensive well water system tailored to your specific water quality. The best place to start is with a certified lab test to determine what issues are actually present that need to be treated. And TapScore is hands down the best lab testing service I've come across and what I use for all my testing projects. So stick around and watch the next video to see why it's head and shoulders above the rest. Click or tap to watch now.